If you're looking for a way to grow fresh herbs or veggies indoors without the mess of soil or the hassle of constant upkeep, this FLTRGO tower garden might be exactly what you need. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. A lot of people get excited about hydroponic systems because they promise faster growth and less water use, but the real question is whether they actually fit into a real home. This one's an aeroponic tower, which means it sprays water directly onto the roots instead of submerging them, and that's supposed to make plants grow up to 3 times faster than soil. But does that actually matter if it's too complicated to set up or takes up too much space? The good news is that it's designed to be modular and stackable, so you can adjust the height based on your needs. If you're growing small herbs like basil or mint, you might only need a few tiers, but if you want to try tomatoes or peppers, you can expand it to 10 floors. That flexibility is useful because not everyone has room for a full garden setup. The water-saving claim is also real since it recirculates most of the water. You're not constantly refilling it like you would with a traditional hydroponic system. That's a big deal if you're worried about your water bill or just don't want to babysit your plants every day. Now, the setup is straightforward, but it's not completely plug and play. You do have to assemble the tower yourself, and while it's labeled as easy, anyone who's ever put together IKEA furniture knows that easy can be subjective. The instructions are clear enough, but if you're not handy, you might want to have a screwdriver and maybe a second pair of hands ready. Once it's up, though, the smart plug and water level sensor do make it easier to manage. You can automate the water pump to run at set intervals, and the water level indicator lets you know when to top it off without guessing. That's the kind of thing that saves time in the long run, especially if you're juggling work or other responsibilities. The biggest strength here is how much space it saves compared to a traditional garden. If you live in an apartment or just don't have outdoor space, this lets you grow vertically instead of sprawling across a table. It's also great for people who want to experiment with growing food year-round without dealing with outdoor pests or weather. I've seen people use these for everything from salad greens to strawberries, and the aeroponic method really does seem to speed things up. The downside is that it's not ideal for root vegetables like carrots or potatoes. Those need more space and soil to thrive. If you're set on growing those, you might want to look at a different system. Another thing to consider is the learning curve. Aeroponics is different from soil gardening, so if you're new to it, you'll need to do a little research on things like nutrient mixes and pH levels. The system comes with a basic guide, but you might find yourself Googling a lot at first. That's not a deal breaker, but it's worth knowing if you're not the type to dive into gardening guides. Who should buy this? If you're someone who wants fresh herbs or greens without the mess, and you're okay with a little setup and maintenance, this is a solid choice. It's especially good for small spaces or for people who want to try growing food indoors without a huge commitment. If you're looking for a low-maintenance, soil-free way to garden, this tower checks a lot of boxes. Who should skip it? If you're hoping to grow large root vegetables or need something that requires zero effort, this might not be for you. It's also not the best fit if you don't have the time to monitor water levels and nutrients, even if it's automated. And if you're not comfortable assembling something or troubleshooting basic gardening issues, you might want to start with a simpler system. Overall, this FLTRGO tower garden is a practical way to grow food indoors without the hassle of soil. It's not perfect, but for the right person, it's a game changer. If you're curious, check out the link in the description to see the details for yourself.